Now I know where the saying comes from. Now I know when they say, if Liverpool win the league, you'll never hear the last of it. Because some of these fans have come out of nowhere, the shadows. I'm talking about my neighbours, like, yeah, I support Liverpool. I'm like, when? When was this? When did this take place? He's telling me about, oh yeah, since he was a child and Kenny Dalglish. Well, I'm like, are you sure? Didn't I see where the Arsenal top the other week? But anyways, it's always funny how it works, in it. When the team's winning, they come out of the shadows. But I'm just going to say this. I knew Klopp was the man for the job. You see this top here? See this top here? It's not an accident. It's not an accident. I think that one needs to take it out. But this one's not an accident. Klopp, Dortmund, I knew. I said, this guy, he's got something in him. The way he gets the best out of the players, number one. His vision for players. He sees the potential in a player. Beautiful. Everybody knows that Dortmund squad, terrifying. Terrifying. I remember when I used to play FIFA, I'd always pick Dortmund. I don't need to pick a big team. And do you see their squad? When Lewandowski and that was there, I didn't pick a big team. But, you know, only the real ones know. Only the real ones know, innit? Yeah? But yes, congratulations are in order. It's been 30 years since Liverpool won the Premier League, so congratulations to them. You know, well done, Liverpool. But before I continue, guys, come on. Why haven't you liked yet? Why haven't you subscribed yet? It's free, guys. Remember that, yeah? Just take a touch of that like button and turn out to subscribe. Simple. Simple dimple. Please, do me that favour. Thank you. Yes, you, yes. Do it now. Come on. Fast. But yeah, I guess got to say congratulations to Liverpool. Give them that, you know. After 30 years, they've won the Premier League. Well done to them. Some people couldn't achieve it at Liverpool, but now the current squad has, you know, hint, Henderson, captain. That's all I'm saying. I've done a video on that already. But yeah, they've done it now. The first thing I want to highlight is Man City pushing Liverpool to the limit. I think last season what happened with Liverpool, you know, coming short by 1 point. And even there was a point where it looked like they were going to win and then they just kept losing. And no, they kept drawing and City were winning. And then by 1 point, imagine that. Imagine you losing the league by 1 point. And it was like 97 points versus 98. So it's like, we've got all these points and we still lost. So I think after that, the players realised, like, listen, no matter what happens, we have to keep going. It doesn't matter if we win a game 5-0, we need to act like, you know, it didn't happen. And that's what I think that's saying, you know, I don't know, for people that play football, when they shout, it's still 0-0, when the score's like 10-0, and it's like, no, it's 10-0, but you shout it's still 0-0, because the attitude is like, no matter how far ahead we get, we have to still show the attitude of a winner, because anything can happen. If we can score 5 goals in 45 minutes, so can they. And I think that's where it comes from. But some things you have to learn from experience. Like, I'm sure Klopp was trying to tell them last season. Maybe players didn't understand the gravity of the situation. But now, with that happening to them last season, you see now, even until it was mathematically solid or sorted, no player was saying, yeah, we've won. Even Klopp, he was not admitting that our Liverpool won it, even though it was so clear. But it's like, no, we haven't won. City still have a chance. City still have a chance. And I respect that, because I understand it. Even though people are like, oh, he's just taking a mick now. But from his position, 1 point, he was like, nah, we are not taking any chances. Until we're over the line, it's not done. Until it's done, it's done. It's not done until it's done. Yeah, that's the saying. But yeah, no doubt, that rivalry between Man City and Liverpool, I think as just a football fan, it was beautiful to watch. It kind of reminds me of like The Last Dance with the Chicago Bulls. Reminds, kind of, just kind of. Yeah, I don't see who's Liverpool's Jordan, but just the fact that they got pushed to the point that they had to just raise the standard just straight up. They just had to improve as a team. There just wasn't enough. And that happened with the Bulls, where it wasn't enough. They had to improve. They had to raise the standard, otherwise they weren't going to be able to win. They were getting close, but not quite there. And that's exactly what it reminds me of. Although I would wonder who in Liverpool would be Jordan. Yeah, let's not go down that road. But I think a combination of last season and this season I think really shows that the standard of the Premier League has risen now. I think the criteria to win the league, the same way the criteria to avoid relegation, I think before 10 years ago it was like 36 points. Now it's like 40, if that, you know. And I think the same way the criteria to win the league now is a lot higher. Like the standard, that you can't just 80 points and you're done. It's like you have to be basically aiming for 100 points, losing about 2 games in the entire season, even if that, but like 2 games. That's literally the level that we're playing at. So I think going ahead, we're going to see just the quality of players and the quality of players. Well, I think seeing managers like Pep come in, Klopp come in, and even Mourinho. I know some people are reluctant to admit, but even him as well. Respect. The style of players, like, it's improved the standard. Before, you had other teams just playing long balls, banging the ball about, and that was it. And any other team that could play decent football would win. But now you're seeing all the other teams. Even you got teams like Leicester, they're competing. Sheffield United, they're competing like properly, and they're not just playing no bang about football. They've raised the profile of the club as well. So I think like the Premier League, maybe now we can say it wholeheartedly that is the best league in the world. Like in the future, not currently, but in the future, I think we can. I think Spain, the standard is very high. Even when you watch teams on the relegation zone, you'd be surprised that they're there. But this is definitely like, yeah, the Premier League is evolving. It's evolving. Like even when I watched the Man City All Access, is it All Access? You know what I mean? All or Nothing. That's the one. And you see the different lengths that the players are going to in their spare time. And I think even the other day I saw a clip of Trent, and he was mentioning how it just became a norm for the players to be doing extra hours in the gym, like without no requests. It was not required of them, but they knew, like, in order to win, we have to go above and beyond. It's not enough to just do the normal things. And I think stuff like that just shows, like, listen, the level is increasing now. Like, players are having to push themselves beyond their limit, which I like, because I think people always are questioning, oh, why did they get paid so much? Da, 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 da. And it's like, no, these guys are really going to fight. They're really going to war, and they're really putting everything on the line. You're seeing players like having to leave their family behind just to focus on the club and stuff like that. So it can't be easy. It's definitely that's not easy. That's not an easy task. But there's been two questions which I've been asking myself. The first one is the way in which Liverpool play, will it drain the players? You know, we've seen in the history of football that teams that play with a certain level of intensity, it begins to drain players. It's hard to maintain that standard, to play at the elite level, and especially the way Liverpool play, that high intensity, counter attacking speed football. That must take its toll. And let's be honest, Liverpool have a good squad, yes, but we most fear their starting 11. We know who they are. We most fear them, and I think certain players, they can't really be changed around, especially when they're trying to win. Yes, in the smaller games they can swap around a Shaqiri for a Mane, but in the big games, or most games, they need that starting 11. So I question how they will cope, and more important, I question how Klopp will cope as well. For the manager, the stress that it takes, you know, every game he's trying to win, every game he's trying to push his players, he's trying to motivate them, because he knows if he allows them to relax, they're going to lose. They're going to lose games they shouldn't lose, and he's trying to push them, and that's why these managers go great so quick, because the stress, the intensity. So I wonder, similar to what happened with Pep at Barcelona, where he just said, you know what, I need to take a step back and just take a year off. Will Klopp do the same? Because the way his energy as well, you see him on the sideline, you would have thought he played the game every match. So I wonder how long he can sustain that as well. Or maybe he'll evolve the way he plays football. I wonder. And I think signings is going to be a big thing. I can see he's trying to build a squad depth, you know, with his signings, players like Minamino and the young players as well. So maybe, hopefully, they can come through and can allow him to continue to grow as a club. And I think my second question for myself is, will any players leave? Should they leave? Naturally, the team wins, players' price go up, players' profiles go up, you know, other clubs start coming, you know, they start knocking the door off on you, more money or more this, you know, the glamorous. Should players leave? What's the reason to leave Liverpool right now? I think I'll use someone like Van Dijk as an example. He's one of their best players. Some would argue he's their best player. Now, we already knew he was a big player, but now his profile's gone up. He's just won the Champions League, the Premier League, solid defender. You know, there was the stat that he didn't get beat for X amount of games. So now if Real Madrid come knocking and they offer him more money and they're willing to pay Liverpool, let's say 150 million, should he go? What's the purpose of him going? You know, you get the players that they come out and they say, yeah, I used to dream of playing for Real Madrid and all that stuff, you know, but I never really hear that from him, so I wouldn't expect it. But I wonder if some of the key players will leave, and if so, what would be their reasons? But should they? I don't think they should leave. Liverpool's a big club and they're growing, you know, they're competing at the highest level. They've just won the Champions League, they've just won the Premier League, so they've proven that they can compete at that level, and they got to the Champions League final twice. I just remembered they did get there, so what's the point in leaving? Especially right now. But, you know, maybe you have some players that they say, they want to play for your Real Madrids or your Barcelonas, which I think currently in football, the difference between those big clubs, there's not much of a difference anymore, except the name of the club. But Liverpool's a big club in its own right as well. But who knows? Who knows what drives players? We had players going to China for the culture, apparently. But yeah, I'm curious to hear from Liverpool supporters. What do you guys think of your current squad? Do you think you can go on to dominate the Premier League, you know, as United did before? Can you be that team that just keeps winning? I'm curious. I think not. I think that there's too many other strong teams that just refuse to allow it. And the thing that always happens in the Premier League is other teams adapt. We saw it, Chelsea won the league. Everyone learned, oh, that 4-5-1, yep, we've clocked it now. Teams always adapt. They don't just sit down, you know, they watch, they see, okay, that's how they play, this is how we're going to break it down. They watch your team when they lose and they're like, oh, that's how you beat them. Then everyone copies that tactic. So, I'll be curious. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And again, thanks for tuning in. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Or as I say, take a touch of that like button and turn out to subscribe.